Guys, who is Chivayo? Ngubani or Chivayo? Who is him? Namuona na marais kila mahali. Nani huyu? Let me end that sentence.
Would you want a political office?
No, never. I just want to be a billionaire. I want to be close to the politicians, have fun with them, eat with them. But I don't have the patience, my friend, to go and sit 3 hours and choose what this and this thematic, what, pastor, 1 minute to just sweat, I'm not aircon, what for? Life yangu ndiyo kwira ndege pasani ndiri private jet ndichaenda kwakati unojigamari ndopinda mLouis Vuitton ndodzoka ndakadai ndichite no life yandoda come on sikira ndakasunga tai nini ndichenze hey pambeni ndimsanga never. I don't want that but I support the party.
Come on.
But being part of a politician myself never.
Okay.
I want no.
Bila shaka hii sura si geni machoni mwako. Inawezekana hulifahamu jina lake au labda umelisahau tu, lakini sina shaka umewahi kukutana na picha zake mitandaoni humo. Anaitwa Chivayo, Mzimbabwe aliyejizolea maarufu kwa mambo makubwa mawili. Moja, kuonyesha maisha yake kifahari katika mitandao, na pili, kupiga picha na viongozi wakubwa wa serikali barani Afrika. Mwishoni mwa juma kuna taarifa iliyosambaa katika mitandao ya kijamii ikionekana kutoka taasisi ya kupambana na rushwa ya Zimbabwe ikidai taasisi hiyo inamchunguza Chivayo kwa madai ya rushwa. Hata hivyo, taarifa hiyo na ukurasa wenyewe ulifutwa. Taasisi hiyo iliwahi kutoa taarifa katikati mwaka huu ikisema kuwa ukurasa wao wa X ulikuwa umedukuliwa. Licha taarifa hiyo kufutwa, lakini picha na nakala za tangazo hilo bado zinaendelea kusambaa mitandaoni. Lakini hiyo si mara ya kwanza kwa taarifa za bwana Chivayo kuchunguzwa. Mwezi Juni mwaka huu ziliibuka taarifa kwamba Chivayo alikuwa akichunguzwa kwa mashtaka kama hayo ya rushwa. Lakini bwana Chivayo ni nani hasa na kwa nini amekuwa gumzo katika baadhi ya nchi? Ana umri wa miaka 44 na ni tajiri mwenye utata. Mara nyingi anapenda kujiita Sir Wicknell. Baadhi ya watu wanavutiwa naye huku wengine wakihofia kwa tabia yake ya kugawa magari na hela nyingi kwa wale anaowaona kama wazalendo, hata kwa watu ambao hajawahi kuonana nao. Magari anayopendelea kugawa ni kama Mercedes-Benz, Toyota SUV na Range Rover. Wanaonufaika ni mastaa wa muziki, waimbaji wa injili wasio na uwezo, wachezaji wa mpira, viongozi wa makanisa na hata wale wanaoonyesha uaminifu kwa chama tawala cha ZANU-PF. Yeye mwenyewe hupenda kuendesha Rolls Royce nyeupe na ana msururu wa magari ya kifahari yaliyowekwa majina yake. Baadhi ya magari hayo naye ameanza kuyatoa pale anaponunua modeli mpya. Kwa miaka mingi, Sir Wicknell kama anavyojiita, amekuwa akipenda kujionyesha utajiri wake kupitia Instagram, jambo ambalo magazeti ya udaku hufuatilia sana. Lakini pamoja na kuonyesha wazi jinsi anavyotumia pesa zake, hajawahi kueleza kwa uwazi anazipataje, jambo linalozua maswali mengi nchini kwake na hata nchi nyingine za jirani.
Zimbabwean businessman Chivayo has denied allegations that he supplied ballot papers to the Electoral Commission of Namibia. This denial follows a news report linking him to a printing company, Rainform, which was selected to print, design and package ballot papers for Namibia's presidential and National Assembly elections in November. Chivayo has described the claim as disturbing and baseless. Previous news reports have also connected Rainform to inflated invoices. Chivayo is well known for his close relationship with Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa and for posing in front of large piles of cash. He has previously been convicted of money laundering in Zimbabwe. Controversies heating up in Tanzania after Zimbabwean businessman Chivayo, already dogged by corruption scandals back home, was repeatedly photographed at State House in Dar es Salaam alongside President Samia Suluhu Hassan. The images have sparked outrage, with critics warning of possible influence peddling at the highest levels of power. Former Tanzanian ambassador to Cuba, Humphrey Polepole, slammed the photos as inappropriate and damaging to the president's reputation. The backlash only grew when Jamii Forums, a major online platform where Tanzanians were openly debating the photos, was raided and suspended for 90 days by the National Communications Regulator. That crackdown has raised a bigger question. Can Tanzania still claim to uphold its democratic values while silencing debates on such controversies?
He comes out in the open to say he's the president's son. He comes in the open that he has the president by the balls. He comes out in the open and says that the administration is in his hands, and he has been fingered out in a report by the Financial Intelligence Center in South Africa. He's running briefcase companies, and these briefcase companies are drawing millions, hundreds of millions of United States dollars.
From a personal point of view, how do you always feel about such people? You as jealous.
Such people, my feeling is that those people do not just exist, but they are a creation of the current president. So yeah, in order to deal with those people, you deal with their godfather. You deal with the president.
This silent tycoon is among the wealthiest people in Africa. Flashy cars, flamboyant lifestyle, and hanging around presidents, this man is the real definition of success. See, Wicknell Chivayo is a Zimbabwean businessman known for his controversial rise to wealth. His name has been dragged in several corruption cases in Zimbabwe involving multi-million tenders with the government through his company Intratech. The company is a leading engineering, procurement, and construction contractor for energy projects, specializing in delivering comprehensive and innovative energy solutions that power the future of Zimbabwe. The 42-year-old tycoon is known for his major philanthropic activities, and at some point, he single-handedly sponsored the Zimbabwe national football team. Let me know in the comments what you think of this billionaire, and send us a message if you want us to cover your story or promote your business.
So how does a Zimbabwean come out of prison and start making millions within just a short period of time? Sounds impossible, right? Well, this guy did it. I'm Pagama Black. Welcome to yet another edition of Master Secret. This is Tenderpreneurship Explained. So last time we ended on a sad note. Our character was in prison. Please watch the previous video to get up to speed and get on with the program. Around 2007 and 2008 thereabout, Wicknell got out of prison with only one mandate: to fulfill his father's wishes, to make as much money as possible. But the big question is, how does one make serious money in a very short space of time without landing himself in jail again? Well, the first thing you need is a customer. And not just any customer, but a customer with a shit ton of dash to spend. A customer that can pay you millions in just a single transaction without betting an eyelid. But then, how do you get that customer without any product or skill to sell? Well, that's not really a big issue if that customer is an entity that is run by individuals who also love the idea of making a lot of money without breaking a sweat. So which entity fits that criteria perfectly? You guessed it right, it's the government, especially the government of Zimbabwe. You see, in Zim, the government is the biggest employer. It manages the largest sums of money on behalf of every individual who pays taxes. Most of the top officials up there also want a piece of that dosh to get into their private pocket. So as long as you're willing to cut them in, then you're good. You can even sell them a giant ball of nothing and get away with it. So come the year 2012, Wicknell, fashioned with all that wisdom, he partners up with this guy, Yusuf Ahmed, and together they register a company called Intratech Zimbabwe Private Limited, and Wicknell is appointed as the managing director of the company. This company is simply meant for one thing and one thing only: to participate in government tenders. Let's take a brief overview of how the tender system actually works. Say there's customer A. In this case, customer A is a particular government institution. So customer A wants to build a solar power plant, let's say. There are actually a number of options as to how to do this. Option 1. Customer A can just employ proficient engineers and buy all the inputs required and build the plant themselves. Now this option actually saves a lot of money, but it requires a lot of hard work and serious expertise. Option 2. Customer A can actually hire a private company which has the expertise and the experience to do the job. This option is slightly more expensive than the first one, but it reduces the chances of failure and mistakes by a huge margin. And then there's option 3, where customer A can just pay a middleman to take care of everything, and all that customer A needs to do, sit back, watch, and relax. Now, because most of our government officials are just lazy and the money that they're entrusted with is not theirs, it actually belongs to the state as they choose option 3. You see, the government is required by law to advertise the tender to the public so that different suppliers can actually apply and compete for the job. Now, the procurement board within the government is the one in charge of choosing the winner. So let's say one of the suppliers has won the tender, right? We'll call the supplier S1 for short. Now, for S1 to win in the first place, there's a lot of resources and time required in preparing the application documents, as he can't just leave it up to chance if he really wants to win. So the best way to make sure that he wins is to get in touch with the members of the procurement board and promise some, if not all of them, that they stand to gain something if he wins the tender. A case is another way of saying he needs to bribe the procurement board. So let's say the actual amount required to get the job done is $10 million. Whoever's gonna do the job shall want his own profit, so he may charge $12 million. Then S1, being nothing but a middleman, is gonna add his own markup on top of the $12 million. And usually these guys don't undercharge, so he's probably gonna add at least $6 million. The price is already 18 million instead of 10. Then S1 remembers that he had to promise the procurement board and any other authorities involved, like for example ministers, that they'll get a share if he wins the tender. So to cater for that, he's gonna add another 6 million on top, at least. Just like that, the government is now required to pay in excess of $24 million for a task that is worth only 10 million. That is the biggest problem that Africa has with these tenderpreneurs who do not have any technical skills. Now back to the story. You see, Wicknell is a smart man and he understands this entire system of acquiring tenders from the government and all its loopholes. Make sure to catch the next video where we'll be looking at how Wicknell used the government tender system to catapult himself into the 7th digits club. Until then, Agama Mdunyama.
Mido nacheza mdhamini si na kaona dai moshi tazivuta vuta, limit ya fuliza imeongezeka nkoma, neza shika jazz na kanudu sie, nacheza kiroro, neza fika soko, turirime mdagi meditation naki, shusha kibandaski cha podonde, neza rada nama vuta izoma.